Hello, friends, and welcome to the discussion today. We'll be talking Berserk Volume 27. We're getting up there. This book has a way of... Every week I keep saying just when I think it could and getting any darker. And for some reason it has a way of being disturbing. I don't know that it's worse. It just feels like there's different things that are disturbing about it that are just kind of like make you comfortable. And it manages to fit it into the stories. But I'm sure we'll get into that. So, Joe, will you give us an introduction?
Hi, I'm JCM Byrne. I'm author of... I had to do a pitch yesterday. Wistful Ascending and Partial Function.
Very nice.
And soon to be released, Grim Dwarf Magazine, which will be free to anyone who wants it. A weekly magazine starring a chapter of my own story. And I've got my very own Bakiraka with me today, still in the box, which Steve is telling me I shouldn't unbox, though I was planning on it. And
I say you should.
Leave it alone. Don't unbox
you
it.
can find my stuff at jcmburn.com or follow me on Twitter. And I don't know. I'm all over the place.
And
I'm still full from Thursday.
Yes, definitely. And Varsha.
Vehemently on the please open the box Joe side. Hi, I'm Varsha. I have a YouTube channel called Reading by the Rainy Mountain. I've been AWOL for the last few discussions, but I caught up on like 2.5 volumes yesterday.
Wow.
And I made a mind-blowing discovery, which honestly, if I'd probably paid more attention in history class, wouldn't have been. Kushan Empire actually existed, and Kanishka's, I think, named after an emperor called Kanishka. So that's what made me go look it up. But Kanishka's the emperor. Anyway, yeah, that blew my mind yesterday.
Oh, nice. I realize that. So you said you've been missed, but the what are your thoughts on the last couple volumes that you caught up on?
Oh, they were really interesting. Like, I normally feel like when I finish reading, just one volume was sufficient, but I kept going for 2.5 because I guess what we talked about the last time I was here, this sort of blooming of hope in the series with the magic and the witch helping them out. And it wasn't quite as exhausting because it was not night after night of like guts without sleep that really bothered me. Like, it wasn't getting any sleep. But I feel like we're getting a little back into that sort of relentless struggle. Or maybe not. They're pretty close to finding Elf Helm or Elf Hell. So maybe we'll get another bit of a break. But it was nice to have Guts have help. I think the bit that I really liked in volume 26 was when Guts has this moment of, oh, I found a little band again. I thought that would never happen. And he's looking out at all the people. I still hate Isidoro and I want him to leave. I do not appreciate his being competitive with the witch at all. But yeah. Oh, I also liked when Guts turns around and calls Shiarka, is that her name? Boss, and like really appreciative of her. That was a lovely moment, I thought. Those were my favorite bits from the last 2 volumes that I missed the discussion for.
But on the moment where he does have the realization that he found the band and I never thought I'd find this again, was there something in the back of your mind that's like, they're all going to die?
Yes. In fact, when Serpico said his like mighty sounding goodbyes to Lady Farnese before he went to fight the frog horse.
The Kelpie.
I thought he was going to die. I was so sure he was going to die, but he did not. So because it felt very momentous that when he said bye, take care of Casca for me. No, he said just take care of Casca, and then yeah. And the other thing that I'm thinking of, I think happened in this volume, so I guess we'll talk about it now. But yeah, I'm sure some of them are going to. Oh, so did the weird snake person actually rape Guts in the previous volume? That's what happened, right? Like it, or did I read too much into it?
Oh, you mean with the suit or with the?
The one of the angels formed out of the troll entrails. The five, not angels, the five of
Oh,
the god hand.
the yeah.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget her name. I think we talked about it last week, Joe. Forget her name. The woman who came out of the guts.
No, I know who you mean.
Yeah. At least she tried to seduce him, or at least
Yeah,
I'm not sure if she
but she
did.
tried.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get the impression that she succeeded.
Okay. I wasn't sure if she did. Yeah, I feel like that's some additional trauma that maybe wasn't addressed if that did happen. But it also looked like she got pretty close, so we gotta see if that plays out at all.
Yeah. She did get close. Because there's a portion where she said, "This is what I wanted."
She was on her way,
Yeah.
but then the Skeletor came and saved them.
Yeah. Goats can't catch a break. Yes. And
My Skeletor.
don't take it out of the package, Joe.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to resist now. But
Yeah.
At least for a little while.
Resist. So yeah, I think that was a great scene, though. Varsha, what was your thoughts on the suit and the Berserk suit, the armor?
Oh yeah, I think so. We were talking about at some point, I don't know, a few volumes ago, I guess, how this is going to play out. How Guts is ever going to get strong enough to beat one of the Godhead, like if he ever has an encounter. I feel like we're at least building up to get there with this berserker armor and all the magic that he now in theory has access to through um Shiarka, and apparently Farnese is going to learn some, so he's going to have access to more powers, so to speak. So I feel like we're leveling Guts and the band up. So yeah, again, like it added to the whole like overall hopefulness of the series. I can't help feeling like it's gonna come crashing down like it did at the end of Golden Age, but yeah, if it does, there's still some things that we've met that could bring him to a point where he could maybe try to match one of the God Hand, possibly. Like the Apostle guy, the Dragon guy got really. Um, was it against the dragon that he used his suit? It
In this
was,
volume,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he was able to beat him, but like with difficulty, but also he had just been fighting and was severely injured.
Yeah, he couldn't beat him in the apostle form. He beat him in his human form. And then once the guy transformed, they ran. Remember, in Shirka's the witch came as a wall of flame and basically
Oh, that's
saved
right.
him. They had to run away, and you didn't think he could. Didn't seem like he could win that fight, but he was certainly like hurt him, right? Which is more than he could have done before, presumably.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a power up. Yeah,
Plus Elf Helm, is that the name of the place? Probably has some more magic that they might get access to. So yeah, but I thought it was really cool. I catch glimpses of volume pictures sometimes when I don't really intend to, when I'm like buying the next one on Kindle, and I always saw this armor and I'm like, that's not what Guts' armor looks like. So I'm glad to have my questions answered.
right. And they had to sell more toys.
Mm,
I
yeah.
actually doubt that's why he did it, but I'm sure it was a nice benefit.
Oh, the toys. The
Yeah,
merch.
get a new set of armor, which looks significantly different and cooler than his old stuff. Sell a bunch of new toys.
Mm.
So, Joe, at the time, how
That's his old armor and the toy I got.
was it pretty
Mm.
popular at this point when this was being published? Do you remember was it pretty?
Berserk.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't selling toys in the U.S. in big numbers, but I'm
Hmm.
sure they were selling toys in Japan in big numbers.
Hmm.
It was big in Japan. I don't think it broke into the mainstream in this country. I don't think it has even today.
Oh,
Mm.
Like, I mean, I don't know what the sales figures are for those Dark Horse releases, but I mean, I don't think it's like, I don't think the typical person in this country knows what Berserk is. Maybe if
Mm.
they had a popular, live action show, it would break in. Maybe this could be the next Game of Thrones. Actually,
yeah.
that'd be too dark for Game of Thrones,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is a rough thing to say,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It was like, anime people knew it. Like, this is these toy. I mean, these toys are, the boxes are in English. Art of
Mm.
War. I don't know where that company's from, but there's a lot of Japanese on the back, so I can't tell where this was made. Diamond Comics Distributors, London. These are made in Japan. They're just imported. Anyway, I don't know.
See, on Amazon, it has almost 15,000 ratings on Amazon, and on Goodreads, it has 8,560. So
Because
it's.
Mm.
those are pretty big numbers,
Mhm.
but not like Game of Thrones numbers.
Oh, no.
You
In
know.
comparison, Game of Thrones probably has, I don't know, 100,000, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It was kind of interesting that a like a normal-ish literary fiction book has a lot more reviews and ratings than a really well-known fantasy book, because like the fantasy books only sell in the fantasy circles, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the armor strikes me as there's a cost for everything. There's a cost
Mm.
to guts. It's not just he puts on the armor and he's unstoppable. There's consequences to using it, and he does pay for it later. He seems almost frail after using it.
His hair is graying now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell people that's what happened to my beard. Oh, Berserker armor.
Berserker. Is
My
that?
chin's white.
Do you think that's where the series got the name from? As in, like, do you think Miura planned for him to have this armor, or just like Guts' general state of mind when he's fighting the demons? Always, it's just berserk.
No, I think he had the name long before he came up with the armor.
Hmm.
Hmm,
There's no real hints or foreshadowing of this armor like in early volumes.
that's true.
I mean, he might have, but I mean, the name fits Guts' personality. It's the whole mindless struggle against insurmountable odds, which is the whole theme of the
Hmm,
character. That's goes right with being a berserker. I'm like, I'm going to throw myself at the enemy, and I don't really care what happens to me, but I'm taking some of them with me.
hmm,
That's Guts. That's always been, um, but the armor's cool. He might have had the idea that, but I said, he must have had. I wonder if he had the idea. I'm going to give him like some magic weapons and give him more of a fighting chance, because he really didn't have that before. For a long time, it really was like his sword even wasn't like a magic sword. It was just a big slab of iron,
Hmm.
And they really made a point that he didn't. He had a cannon that was, he wasn't supernatural.
hmm,
And then they really made this transition in the last few volumes where he's getting supernatural help. But he really, well, no, that's not, I'm wrong. He had the elf for magical healing,
Hmm.
but that was it. That was really it. And the elf didn't do much else for him. He wasn't like always scouting or anything or casting other kinds of spells. It was really just healing him up. So it's kind of an interesting shift. I probably a needed one. But then also we've got this. What I found really interesting in this volume was the like multiplying, like bad guy versus bad guy thing, where like you've got the Hawk versus Ganishka, and I'm
Hmm.
like, is he trying to make us think like, oh well, Griffith isn't good, but he's doing some good stuff because Ganishka is truly horrific? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, are you trying to sell me on this, or are you trying to put like seeds of doubt into Guts's head for some crisis point later? Because like I'm not buying it, but compared to the Demon King, the Hawk looking pretty good right now.
Mhm.
If you're just a regular, if you're not part of the people who were sacrificed, if you're anyone else, he looks good.
He also
So
did send that apostle army against the witch pretty recently, and
that's true.
Guts knows that Griffith sent them,
Yeah,
and he hasn't yet found out about all the good things he's been doing for Midland.
right. But you've got a lot of players now. You've got like the Demon King, you've got the Hawk and the Apostles. Then you've got the Bakiraka, who seem to be having second thoughts about serving the Demon King, so that maybe they can be good guys later, which I hope so, because I've got the toy, and I hate to have my feelings for this lovely toy, ruined by the character being evil. So, it's funny. It's got these little complexities, and I'm not sure. I don't know why they're there yet. I think
Mm.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm curious. Like the Bakiraka always, it's almost like who are they? What are they for? Like they're not. I like them. I think they're cool, but like they're not a force in this. Like they can't stand up to either side. Like, they're not going to tip the balance of power in a fight between the Hawk and the Demon King. They don't seem to be that strong,
Mm.
but they're there. So I don't know. It's
Did it
interesting.
did it feel like they were just thrown in at the beginning, like as something cool and interesting, but now he's expanding upon how they'd come to play? Or I guess it's a constant question I have that it's of no consequence really. It's like how much of this was planned ahead of time and what did you do as you went?
Right. Right. I mean, I can't imagine he had all these details plotted out the first year. I mean, it's a 30-year project. You're going to come up with new ideas and throw
Mm,
them in there as time goes on. I feel like they were first there in a way just to let us know that Kush existed.
mm,
Like, there's more than just this European medieval analog. There's more to the world out there. So that way, when the Demon King shows up later, it's like, okay, we had a sense it was a bigger outside world. It
Mhm.
wasn't just Midland and the surrounding countries, and it wasn't just Midland and Shooter. That wasn't the world.
mm.
Right? You see the
Yeah.
Bakiraka, you're like, okay, the world's bigger than Midland and Shooter. But then, like, the Demon King seems to have, like, really extraordinary powers and be an apostle, and yet he seems to have had them for a while. And that doesn't seem consistent with the idea that the eclipse had to happen for these big magical stuff to be there. I feel like it's not completely consistent.
Mhm.
But that's okay. I can
And
overlook that.
is he of a class of demon that's different from the ones that Guts has been fighting? Or does he just belong to one of the other members of the God Hand? I forget what the weird troll and trail lady said, but was she just pushing her own agenda, or did she was she going against Griffith? Did I say Guts before when I meant Griffith?
I
But
don't think she's going against Griffith.
mhm.
But Ganishka's an apostle, right? We know that. He's just a very, very powerful one.
Mm. So
He says
Griffith,
that.
Griffith wants to beat him. Like, okay, I guess my question is, why aren't Griffith and that apostle on the same side? Or why aren't they working together?
Well, there's two ways to look at it, right? Ganishka says, I'm the fundament. I'm gonna defeat God with my own hands. Like he's got just as much will to be supreme as Griffith had. It just wasn't good enough.
Mm,
Right? So he's gonna fight him. Another way to look at it is Griffith needed an enemy like that for him to win, for him to be the true savior. He wants to be, I think Griffith wants to be what Princess Charlotte thinks he is. He
mm,
wants to be what she sees him as. She sees him as the knight in shining armor, right? The savior of everything. To really be the savior of everything, you need a big dragon,
mm,
right? So a part of me is like, Ganishka was almost created by Griffith, or maybe I don't know if we're going to be told that, but Griffith needs him.
Mhm.
You need something that horrific to overcome
Yeah.
to be the savior, the true white knight, and everything that is good and holy but compared to what? Well, compared to this guy. Because if all you're
Mm.
doing is like kicking shooters' ass, like no one's going to be like, yeah, sure, they're the enemy of Midland, but the city's been turned into a hell on earth, and if he can cleanse that, oh, he's done something,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
everyone is going to worship him, and that's what he seems to want.
Mm. And it's unlikely that just a normal human king would go to those extremes. Um, I think everyone we saw so far. What was um, the the priest person with the flattened nose? He didn't turn out to be a demon, right? He just was a really intense believer of God.
Yeah, well, at the end, he got possessed
Mm-hmm.
by the demon creatures that were going after the sacrifice.
But it wasn't
He wasn't an apostle before that.
okay. He did all those witch burnings and tying people to wheels and stuff. Just as a worshipper. My
Yeah,
point was like, could it have been done without making Ganeshka a demon king? Because nobody really knows that he is a demon king, so that's not going to do much more for his reputation than if he just stopped the emperor from killing people and hanging them up around the city. So
I don't want to give away what happens later.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hmm.
think overcoming a true demon king. I think once, because people will find out eventually about like all those soldiers, like the
Hmm.
monster soldiers and the elephant guys.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hmm.
love the elephant guys. I want a spin off just about the elephant guys. They were
So
awesome.
you mean the ones that were two-legged elephants?
Yeah, they're walking around with like carrying spears and they're elephant. I love that. I always love elephant people.
Oh,
Um,
those were awesome.
I have rhino people in my stories. I don't put elephant people in there. Now I need to put elephant people on
Oh yeah,
Hybrid Helix. Uh,
rhino people. I haven't got to that part yet. Okay, this
oh
is
yeah, there's
cool.
rhino people in Wistful Ascending. They're not a big part of the story, but the oh, I forgot.
Okay,
I've been working on other stuff all year, so I forgot my own species names. Gave him a really funny name, but it was a trademark infringement, so I had to change it.
Oh.
mm.
Um, well, I named them after a Doctor Who species that's also rhino guys, which I thought was hilarious. But everyone's like, you shouldn't just steal the name. Like, you can't do that. I'm like, all right.
Mm.
I don't think like BBC would have come after me, but
Yeah, you never know though.
you never know.
Oh, well.
But I mean, enough people are going to see the rhino guys and the Daka. Is that what they were called?
Mm.
The demon dudes with the bad teeth.
Yeah.
A lot of bad teeth in this volume, like really bad teeth. Like this volume's an orthodontal nightmare because Kanishka, whenever he gets mad, his teeth get all twisty and curvy, and the demon people, the demon dudes, the humanoid guys, they have bad teeth.
Mm.
And you
They
got the
had
alligator guys. They're cool.
they had
Crocodile.
a lot of Hindu gods in the room that Ganeshka was in. That yeah. And then the name as that's what I that was the point at which I caved and looked looked up.
Yeah.
Actually, I still didn't look up Kushan Empire. I looked up Kanishka because I was
Oh,
trying to remember who he was. I thought briefly that he was Ashoka's father or something, and that shows what I know. Uh,
more than I know.
but when I googled Kanishka, the Kushan Empire showed up. I was like, wait, does that?
Hmm.
I thought I was getting spoilers for Berserk. I still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spoilers for history.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was interesting. So now I have uncertain feelings about why the priest people look the way they do. Like I did not. It still bothers me a little bit that there are all these like hyper muscular people. What are they? What are they called again? The assassins.
The Bakiraka.
Bakiraka. Yes. Um, but I did love all the images of Kali and the serpent form of Vishnu. I forget what he's called, but yeah, there were a bunch there. I When I saw the elephant walking person, I thought maybe that's Ganesh, but I'm reading too much into it. I don't think it's Ganesh because like the others were just painted and this one wasn't. But um,
I think there were a bunch of those elephant guys, and a lot of them
hmm,
got killed. So
yeah,
Hmm.
that
Oh yeah.
yeah,
so some of them might be important, but I don't think they're going to be that important. I think
mm,
it's just the idea that he's got these monstrous hordes,
mm,
you know, and once you find out at the end of 27 where they come from, which is really
Mm.
horrific,
Yeah.
right? That's where you get this Demon King is really bad news,
mm.
like really bad. You remember the giant womb of stitched together apostles, and
Oh,
he's dropping human women into it, and they're giving birth to these
oh
monsters. They're
yeah,
getting torn apart. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty dark. I think that's what Steve was mentioning, right?
Mm.
Some new dark shit, right?
mm,
Um, and so yeah, so now we're like, I mean, you can't. I don't think you can help but look at the hawk and what he's doing in this vine, being like, he's got to look like the good guy, right? He's rescuing Charlotte on his flying mount, his flying steed. They literally take her bed away in the
yeah,
dead of night, right? His knights even look less monstrous, right? You notice
mm,
for the most part, the war demons, they're the top tier, right? One is like armor, is all clean, geometric, right? There's no weird tentacles or anything, or eyes where there shouldn't be. He looks like a space knight.
Mm.
Remember Rom's space knight, right? And then all the other guys are much more symmetrical and much less
mm.
random in their physiology. It doesn't,
That's
the
true.
the dragon dude, he's all crystalline.
Hmm.
It's not, animalistic. It's much more, I don't know. It's like cleaner.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it looked
Yeah,
really cool or interesting more than I want to look away from that, like I did with most of the
it's like a
apostles.
crystal dragon. He's
Yeah.
a crystal. He's a cool looking thing, right? He's not
Hmm.
monstrous. The Lancer guy who looks like a space knight. He looks cool. You buy that toy. Um, um, you know, it's just a weird shift that, like, Griffith looks like the better, choice now. And I wonder if they're doing that so that later on we're going to see that once Griffith, assuming he doesn't die real soon, which I think is safe. I think we all know he's not going to, like, not kick the bucket in volume 30. But whatever he's trying to do, is he going to end up doing things that are more monstrous even than what Ganishka's doing, or is he going to play the good guy? And then the only way we'll know that he's not the good guy is from his past, from the sacrifice.
Hmm.
And then Guts could be like, I want to kill this dude. And everyone's going to be like, but why? He's so nice. Which
Hmm.
would just make shit worse for Guts.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to
I
feel
didn't
about
think.
the.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Varsha, go ahead.
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I'm not sure how I feel about the. I feel like there's an effort to bring us back into having sympathy for Griffin, or kind of like forgetting what happened in a way. Is that I'm not sure how to feel, because he was the big bad for so long. He did all these awful things. It seems not like we're trying to almost go backwards and I don't know, make him sympathetic, but at least make him, I don't know, kind of like I'm not sure how to feel about like this character, his journey.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think of that. The sympathetic stuff, but I see what you mean, Joe. I don't know if there is an effort to make the readers forget that, because I think there was one flashback scene. I forget which of the 2.5 volumes it happened in. It's all blurred now, but there was one flashback scene where the night of the eclipse, I think Guts remember. I don't even remember when it happened, but as long as we keep being reminded through Guts and the fact that Casca's completely like still catatonic and not in her senses at all, I feel like it would be hard to be very sympathetic towards Griffith. Um, but yeah, I maybe there is deliberate effort to make us think the other way. I don't know. I didn't see it, but it makes sense based on everything we read in this volume.
or just present more obstacles to Guts. All these people going like, no, he's a good guy. He saved us from Ganishka, so then more people for Guts to have to. But he doesn't want. He's not going to want to cut through all those people because those could be like just well-meaning people who just like they don't know about the eclipse because no one does. So they're just regular people going, he saved us all, dude. From this really horrific thing, and you can't deny those facts on the ground, right? Which would just be like more like misery heaped on Guts' shoulders. Everyone would hate him for. Because if he does kill Griffith, everyone's going to be pissed at him.
Yeah.
But that's how it's looking right now. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that's how it's going to play out long term, but right now, Griffith is looking like the hero. And you can easily imagine people being like, no, don't stop that guy. That guy's helping us. This other guy is like filling the streets with corpses. Because that is what's happening.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's very true.
So you think Griffith will command enough loyalty after saving the people from the Demon King, that he'll have to go through a whole army before he gets to Griffith?
Or something. Or he'll just have to be tormented by another dilemma. Griffith is keeping everyone safe from these even more horrific things. Maybe he's going to have second thoughts. Although he doesn't seem like a second thoughts kind of guy. But we'll see. I don't know. It's interesting. But it's weird, right? It's like not obvious. I think there's a lot of stuff in this series where there's a simple way you'd expect it to progress, and then it doesn't ever do that. Right? You sort of imagine like, okay, now like Griffith shows up with his like war demons. You imagine that Guts is going to fight them kind of one at a time, acquire more powers and abilities, more sidekicks, and eventually take on Griffith like a video game, right? Or a martial arts tournament. And that's definitely not what's going on. It's like he sets up these pieces where you think you know what the next thing is, or you're expecting it, and he just doesn't do that. He does something really different. So I think that's one of the reasons people like this series. Is because it really does subvert expectations. Not really tropes, but expectations. You think it's going to do one thing, and then it doesn't.
Do the expectations come from other manga? Is that what typically happens in
even any other fantasy series, right? Like at this point, you'd expect him to find the ring or the sword or the axe that can kill Griffith, and he goes on a quest for it with all his friends, and they support each other, and he finds it, and then he goes and in a climactic battle in the sky, he defeats the hawk, right? But we know that's not what's going to happen. Not like that, or not in a straightforward way. But and even other fantasy doesn't work like this. Or he's going to raise and go off, find some kingdom of good sorcerers, and like unite them and come back with an army. That's not going to happen. Right? He's not going to go and get Kush to like back him and take out the hawk, right? Like all the things you think you would expect based on like a rough description of the setup. That's not what's happening. So it's good. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes when the things happen that do feel like other fantasy stories you've seen before, like Shirka distributing all the magical weapons to the team, it feels really weird because then you're like, oh, now we're back to this like a structure, this paradigm I'm used to, and then they leave it back, and then they go off and do something that's not what you think. So they're not going after Griffith; they're going to save Casca, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's good. I'm not. It's interesting. It's just like you want to think of what's the role these guys play. So what's the role? So now we've got our two bad guys fighting each other, and then in the last chapter, Guts and his team are just leaving. Guts, have fun. We're gonna go take care of this other thing. Bye now. It is literally the final chapter.
Yeah.
It is a good point because when we do have those like traditional moments, like when they hand out all the weapons, and it feels out of place. Like it feels weird.
It did feel weird. It feel weird, but then it didn't go where you thought it might go after that.
Yeah.
And taken out. Maybe they defeat that dragon guy, and then Griffith is down to 8 of his 9, war demons. And what's going to happen next? You have to fight the other guy. No, but that's not what's going to happen. So it's cool. That's cool. I don't know how much of it Miura does like very deliberately, or how much of it was just sort of instinctive. Let's not do what the people expect. I don't know if it's, if I write this, they'll expect this, but then I'll do something different. Like some people do that very intentionally, and I do. I do. I very much will have an end of a chapter where I'm like, everyone thinks this is going to happen here. I'm gonna twist it. You
Mm.
know, um, but I know lots of people who do that stuff just sort of seems right.
Hmm.
So,
And we talk a lot about guts, but I think this volume had a lot that wasn't guts centric. The royal capital of Windham, and the kind of feeling very gloomy, very hopeless.
Mm. I think I know they started doing this a little bit before the volume with the elf children, or like the demon elf children. Uh, those volumes, I forget that we sort of see different parts of the world. Um, so even when we don't get a break from Guts' relentless fighting night after night, we get a break like as readers because we're going to different parts of the world. So yeah, I do like that we occasionally jump off. Especially, I think the point at which this happened was a really good breaking point um, because of how exhausted Guts is. Like, I don't put him in another fight. I don't want to read that. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed that section and the backstory, but it did feel like the world was becoming a lot bleaker even than what we've been seeing so far.
Mm-hmm. We do get an egghead character who isn't I don't remember. I don't think they turned out to be a scumbag.
well, that's
Not yet.
Faust,
Is he?
isn't that?
Sorry, go ahead.
He's the same guy who tried to betray Griffith early on.
Oh, was it the
In
same
the
one? Oh, okay.
I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
so. He
yeah. It
just
was the minister or whatever who tried to poison him, and Griffith gave him the evil eye, and then all of a sudden he became a sycophant, and he still is. He had a true change of heart. Now he worships Griffith.
Hmm.
his and in exchange his egghead became more circular.
Yeah,
The gravity changed
I'll
around his
reward
head.
you with the hat of head shaping, which will de-eggify you. I don't know, but no, it's the same guy.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
Because I think wasn't Griffith like floating outside his window, or like just gave him a weird look. It was in the it was before the fall,
mm.
like in the Golden Age saga, like volume 12 or something. I don't remember,
I
but it's the same guy.
I thought I recognized him to be that person, but I wasn't sure because he looked pretty different. I thought. I don't know if it's the I. I mean, the eggheads all blend into each other. So, but but also, I I don't know. I feel like he was made with more pockmarks earlier on, or like more bulges on his face. Maybe I'm misremembering someone else. But
I don't know,
Hmm.
but the resistance, right? The,
mm,
the the Midland nobles. These are the guys Griffith is gonna have to win over
mm.
because he wants Midland, and he rescues Princess Charlotte,
Yeah.
like a fairy tale.
Kind of creepy. Well, very creepy.
So, do you think the Bakiraka are going to go over to Griffith's side, or are they going to hate all demons and go over to Guts?
That's what's weird, right? I don't know. Well, I do
Yeah.
know because I read ahead, but it's hard to say if it's hard to say if they're there for that or just like it's hard to say what I'm having a hard time figuring out their sort of narrative purpose, right? Like,
Mm,
what are they there for? Are they there? And I think maybe part of it is just to sort of make it clear that like not. I wonder. Maybe not, but part of me is like, well, they just there to make it clear that like not everyone from Kush is like an evil, horrible creature. Like they seem like decent fellows.
mm,
And it's like, okay, so maybe Mura's like, well, I don't want everyone to think that I'm saying everyone from like that part of the world who's dark skinned are all evil. So let's put someone in there who's not. I don't know. If it was a more modern guy and he was American, I would think that was it. Like if it had been written in this last decade and it was an American guy, I would think that was the reason. You put in the good whatever so that you're making it clear you're not racist. But
Yeah.
given where Miura was from and his audience, I don't think that was. I think that's less likely. I think he just put them in. I'm going to say he put them in because they were cool, and maybe now they're also just another viewpoint characters. They can say they're tough enough to survive and see things and be like, oh, that's really, and explain what's happening to us
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah,
as a narrative tool.
that I don't want everyone to think that doesn't, like, I doubt he got backlash from the subcontinent, but um yeah, so yeah, it's interesting. Let's see where it goes, I guess. But I like that, like, as additional characters that are giving us perspective, like that the weird mask dude whom they call Rakshas, but there's a human behind him, right? Um, that
We think so, but he's
mm,
an apostle, so we don't know if his body is even still normal or not.
oh, he's an apostle, the person in the mask.
He's one of the war demons, isn't he?
Oh,
Isn't he one of Griffith's war demons?
I'm not sure
he
if.
Like the
did.
Lancer guy and the Archer guy? He's just another one.
He pledged loyalty to Griffith until he's able to murder him, like, and he's able to get strong enough to murder him or something like
Yeah,
that. I thought
yeah.
that's what
But I
happened.
think he's an apostle, like the other,
Oh, okay.
like the Dragon Knight guy, the giant who turns into a fire dragon, and the guy who becomes a bow with his own horns, with his body
Hmm.
coming up out of the back of the goat. And the Lancer dude who's armored, the Space Knight guy. I'm going to call him the Space Knight guy. That's, uh, I think those are all apostles, like very
Okay.
strong apostles.
Hmm.
Like they rip through other apostles like they're candy when they need to. Um, so I think the Rakshasa guy is an apostle, but I could be wrong. I got that
Okay.
impression. He certainly has like a lot of magical ability somehow, but they also, yeah, it's not clear how much magical ability is possible. Clearly, you can have magic without being an apostle, because Shirkus proves that.
Hmm.
And then we have the sense that Kush has other ways of generating magical power.
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll see.
Did the astral plane that Shiarka accessed when trying to summon up the water spirit, and then later they went to a darker part of the astral plane. Is it implied that all the magic draws from the same source, just from different parts of the astral plane?
I think so. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. It's definitely implied that a lot of magic comes from calling on things from parts of the different parts of the astral plane. That's definite. Is that the only source?
Hmm.
I'm not. I'm not completely sure, but I can't think of a counterexample.
Hmm.
Like definitely, they imply that Guts has some kind of magical ability because of living on the edge of the interstice. I still love that. I still think that was so useful because it makes me believe other stuff that has happened in this series that makes no sense. I'm on for some reason I keep getting emails from Reddit, the Reddit Berserk
Oh,
subreddit, and because I went there once, and every time I get an email from Reddit that's like, oh, here's the latest thing from there, and someone was like, how is Guts so jacked when he like never eats and doesn't sleep? Because if you're like into weightlifting, right, you like eating a lot and sleeping plenty is like absolutely how you build muscle, right? And I'm like, he's jacked because he's been living on the edge of the interstice. Like Shirka said it in the last volume. So his will has an effect on the physical world that it wouldn't have except he lives on the edge of the astral planes or on the juncture. And I'm like, that helps me write off so much bullshit that would annoy me. You know, how come he's still standing? You know, but he's kind of magical because you know he's in that place and his will is tremendous and that makes his body do stuff it shouldn't be able to do. And I'm like, I'll buy that. Like I'll buy, it's an explanation,
Hmm.
but and that's why he's still jacked. because his will makes him Jack. With that will, if I had that will, I'd be 6'4" and
That's
I'd
what
never
you'd use it for.
Yeah.
just for a while. I'd be playing center for the Knicks. I'd be I'd be 7'4" and I don't know, doing something else with my
Cool.
life.
You do. So the Emperor has plans for Charlotte because he plans to use her to, to spread his seed, I guess, to combine. I guess. But he stops when he realizes that that's Griffin's kind of his that she's in love with him. That she's the Hawk's lover. So you do kind of think that there's something else going on there too.
Mm.
He has plans for her, and she just she's bait of some kind, maybe.
Yeah. I think she's bait of some kind or some way to attack Griffith psychologically. But then she gets stolen right out from under him. I feel bad for this guy. Just you think you conquered the whole world and you're the toughest dude, and then this other guy shows up and just messes with you.
No longer the most powerful person on the planet in your head.
It's gotta suck.
Yeah.
But
Oh, did we finally get an explanation for why Zod stole that girl just before the eclipse? Or was he just like saving her for Griffith somehow? Or was he preventing her from falling to the invasion? Do you remember that bit just before the eclipse where Zod stole Charlotte from her tower? And then we never went back to figure out what happened there. But like now that Zod has pledged his loyalty to Griffith, was he just protecting her for some reason? Or do we still not have an explanation?
Zod took Charlotte from the tower before the eclipse?
Mm-hmm.
I have no memory of this.
Okay. Pretty sure that happened, but yeah,
No,
I've
I'm not
been,
saying you're
yeah,
wrong.
no. Like it's been bugging me because we never like what happened with her at the time, but
Huh.
I
yeah.
don't remember.
Anyway, I was curious if
Because we see a scene where Zod pledges allegiance to Griffith. They fight. It's very quick, and Griffith cuts off one of his horns. And then he's like, okay, you're the real deal. I'll follow you. And after that, he's been completely subservient to Griffith.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so he wasn't like automatically loyal to Griffith before that. Okay, so then we still
I
don't
don't
know.
think so. I think they fought.
Yeah, okay. Still don't know why Zod did what he did.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Mm.
That's a good question. And once you read to the end, you can Google it, and when you're not afraid of spoilers, see if there's a good story, which people explain it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Reddit. There's got to be a ton of discussion about all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, I haven't really dug into the Reddit and looked at back stuff, but I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in there.
Mm.
I think the new volume just dropped, right? Recently?
Oh, really? Is it you mean the
42?
deluxe edition or like one of the first ones after Miura?
I think with the new edition, I think it dropped sometime recently. So I'd be afraid to. I'm sure there's spoilers now for. Let's see.
Yeah.
Volume 14.
Is there another arc after the one we are reading, or does this go all the way to the available volumes?
It dropped the 21st, so
Nice.
about a week ago. That's the new release. I think that's the latest and greatest. Or
oh wow,
I don't know if it's greatest, but
yeah, volume 14 of the deluxe edition dropped 5 days ago. Oh, okay, but that's not 3 volumes. That's 40, 41, and the official guidebook.
oh, okay.
40. I don't think 42 is out yet. I don't know if 42 is complete.
Yeah.
But the scanlation, I cheated and read ahead on the scanlation to the end last week, 2 weeks ago.
42?
That's caught up.
You read 42?
I read the next 15 volumes.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Because I got really frustrated. I'm like, I don't remember what's happening. I don't know what goes on next. I need to figure it out. So I did, but
Mm.
it's when you're reading online, it's just like so easy. Just click, click. I don't even have to get up to get the next volume. So, but yeah, they're definitely coming out like the non-Miura ones. You can definitely see a difference in the artwork.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
it's not bad, but it's not like it's subtly different. I feel like if I was an artist, I would be able to like articulate what's different and what's not quite as good about the compositions and stuff. But I can't.
Mm.
Like I can look at them like this isn't as good, but I can't tell you why.
Mm.
But it's not bad.
Hmm.
It's not bad. So,
Some fantastic artwork on this one, though.
oh my god. And he's not really repetitive. That's the thing. He's not really repetitive either with the story or the artwork or even like the gruesomeness. It's not the same thing over and over again. I mean, there are things that happen over, right? Like there are themes. Like there's definitely too much sexual assault, right? For example, but like it's not like just page after page of like I've seen this before.
Mm.
I mean, it happens, but it's not bad. It's not a lot of repetition.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm impressed. Very impressed. The story doesn't go where you think it's going to go. The horror doesn't come from exactly where you think it's going to come from. New stuff happens. New elements are introduced, and they don't do what you think they're going to. It's neat.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see Guts having a chance here. He fights one of the super apostles. He kills like 3 apostles in like a blink of an eye in this volume with the Berserker armor. And it's like,
Mm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
he did get a level up.
Yeah, I love how the Berserk, like, how do I put it? The way he drew how Guts fought in the Berserk armor, like he's moving really fast. You get the impression that he's moving fast and he's like actually in Berserk mode. It's different from how he fought without the armor. I love how that came out in the art. That was really brilliant.
It's more like an agility and speed,
Hmm.
and less of a I'm just bigger and stronger than everybody else. Because that's not going to work against
Mm.
apostles.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
zipping around, cutting things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's also impressive because it's a very different style of drawing fights from the same guy. So he's one guy who's done these different styles,
Mm.
you know. Can't be. I imagine it's not easy, but he's clearly an artist with a lot of skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good
And I
stuff.
think that last chapter felt like it should have been in a different volume, but
Yeah.
that's not how he writes the story.
Mm.
Like all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, we're just on our way to this new place. Let's all get on a boat." And it's like, that's the end of the volume.
Yeah.
I
So
guess
Yeah.
the volumes are just like 9 or 10 chapters. They're not. There's not a narrative uh, thing to them. They don't have
Yeah.
like a beginning, middle, and end to the volume,
mm-hmm.
Mm.
which is fine. That's how manga are. Like that's normal.
Yeah. Yeah. We did sort of leave off. I don't want to say abruptly, but almost like we were at a good moment before we switched to the other what's happening in the other parts of the world. So it was nice to come back for a brief moment and be with our friends who are most certainly going to die.
Yeah.
You're really confident they're all dead.
I don't know, some if not all.
Oh, so this is not going to happen. I don't think. I mean, it still could, but I was thinking how cool it would be for Guts to get his own Behelit. Not the one he took from Griffith, but his own, and to sacrifice all these guys like Isidro and
Yes.
Kafka and whatever to gain the ability to fight Griffith toe to toe.
So he's gonna sacrifice all these guys to go fight.
I think that would be fantastic.
Mm.
But I'm pretty sure that's not what's going to happen. It's still, look, I've read all the way to the end. It still could happen, right? Because like it's
Yeah.
not over. But I don't think anyone's going to have that happen. But I would love that. I would love if his desire for revenge turned him into the next Griffith.
Mm.
effectively. But I'm sure it won't.
Yeah, that would be an interesting place for the story.
That'd be the question: would he sacrifice everybody else to save Casca, or to kill Griffith?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because you can only pick one.
But that I can see how that would be a really interesting twist storytelling wise, but it would be really horrible if it happened because
I know.
I'm
Dan, I
really
think Dan
rooting
would
for
appreciate it.
Guts.
That God sacrificed Casca and the rest of them so he could kill Griffith. I think Dan would like it.
Everything we love about Guts gone to hell because the man fights through anything. Now he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna sacrifice a bunch of people to gain superpowers.
To get what I've been wanting all along, which is revenge on this dude for betraying all of us. So I'll do what he did so I can get my revenge. I think that'd be great.
And then
But this is
Casca survives somehow, and now she's the new
no.
Guts.
She has to sacrifice, or she survives, and then she's got the brand, and she's got two brands now, matching both boobs, right? Whatever. Poor Casca. All right, everyone should be glad that I was not designated the writer when after Miura, because I'd be unable to resist this twist.
Lots of elephant men and eggheads.
He would gain the power. He would take over Kush and all their weird womb factories. He'd have a bunch of elephant men, and he'd go after. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. He'd get a cool robe.
He'd get a cool robe.
Yeah, he'd have to dress like one of the cushion, like peoples, like the Bakiraka.
Oh, interesting.
With the cool robes,
the main guy, because the priest just wear like a towel and
or a towel. Guts can wear a towel. He can get his arm back. Who's got robes? Maybe it's not.
Do we know the names of the members of the Bakiraka?
I think they just have symbols on their foreheads, and they call what's his name Young Master. I don't remember a name for Young Master. But there's the normal-looking dude who's in charge, who's not hypermuscular for some reason I can't figure out. And then there's at least 4 of the muscular guys.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're all still alive either, because they seem to always be fighting things that can kill them, and yet they never get killed. Yeah. And do they not have eyes? It's like their eyes were plucked out, but I can't tell if they're just meant to have very deep-set eyes that are hard to see, or if they actually don't have eyes, but they seem to.
Interesting.
Look at the artwork. They don't have eyes. It's really weird. And like Young Master has eyes. I'm like, did they pluck their own eyes out as part of like their training or something? We don't need these.
The eyes got lost in the lines of all the other muscles on their faces. I still can't get over the fact that their fingers were muscular.
Oh, yeah, they had like muscular heads. Like their scalps had like ripples and stuff. And I'm like, there are no muscles there, guys. This is bad.
There are now.
Yeah. This is
If the Bakiraka turn, then we'd have 2 eggheads who are not scumbags.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we got to get some Bakiraka apostles. That would be cool. I bet they'd be tough.
Yeah, they don't look like they have eyes, do they?
No, they're not. They're drawn as if they're eyeless, but I can't tell if it's supposed to really mean they have no eyes, because they don't seem blind. Aren't they fighting stuff? They're not like, it's a good thing I can't see, because then I'd really kick your... I don't know. I can't tell.
And we do leave off with Fernie's. She's possibly going to be learning some magic tricks, which I've kind of grown to like that character.
Yes.
I feel like he changed his mind with her. I feel like early on she was being set up as being much more, much darker. Like much more of a sadist, someone who reveled in cruelty for its own sake. And now she's being described more as someone who's like happy to be useful. And I don't feel like those are really inconsistent personality types. It's almost like he had an idea for her and it didn't quite work out, but now he's got this new idea, but he can't retrocon what happened, 12 years ago in an earlier volume.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't seem to have that core of really nastiness that she had. She really was like a sadist early on. And that's just gone. And I don't think we have an explanation for why it's gone, other than he just changed his mind about her character arc.
I think he tried to explain it away as she's caring for Casca, and that gave her like some humanity, or kind of like caring for someone else I don't know, but yeah, it is a little. We don't really have enough to invent. Like that journey felt there wasn't a lot of substance to it. Her
Yeah.
her change of heart, but
But if you imagine you could go back and change her earlier person, and she was just sort of someone who went along with what they told her to do because she felt powerless and like neglected and was like willing to do whatever, but it's that would make the character arc believable to me. But the fact that she used to seem to relish it, that makes it not like it's not believable with that background. But if I go back and I say, oh, let's imagine it was a little different than it was, I can buy it. So I
Yeah.
wonder if he just changed his mind because I didn't know where she was going early on because she seemed too cruel to be useful.
Hmm.
Um, but now she's better. Now she's better. So we shall see.
Yep. I do like this character a lot now, but I agree with you, Joe. It didn't feel organic, the shift. Like it's almost like we have to forget some of the things we learned about her before
Right.
to buy this part of her personality. But yeah, like I
Right.
like what we see now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to forget. But I think that's part of what happens when you've got a thing that goes on for almost 25 or 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know,
yeah, I do appreciate that he tried to explain. It's not just, oh, she's just nice now and you have to deal with it. It's
right.
okay. Here's why. You may or may not buy the explanation, but yeah.
There's definitely an explanation. I just
Mhm.
it's too big a shift for me from
Mm,
just how nasty she used to be.
that's true. That's true.
But
But
not sorry.
I guess another way to look at it is she sort of commits herself wholly to whatever cause she's following, which she did with that. What was it? I forget the name of the order,
The church.
but now she's, yeah, the church, and now she's and now she's committed herself wholeheartedly to Griffith. Sorry, Guts, and
Griffith will
she
be next.
oh no, if she went over to
Oh,
Griffith. But
hilarious too.
yeah, so now she wants to, like, now she's completely in awe of him, and so she wants to protect Casca because Casca is important to him. So I guess there's stuff you can tell yourself to make it more believable, perhaps, is my point.
Well, it was a good volume though.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else either of you can think of?
No, I think, yeah. I was asking earlier, does the Falcon arc go all the way, the Millennium Falcon go all the way to volume 41, or do we stop?
The Millennium.
I don't pay attention to what the arcs are called.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it.
Okay. We think it might close before that. Okay. That's
There are definitely different storylines. Are they the
mm,
same? What I forget what the arcs are called. I
okay.
honestly don't remember. But there are different storylines. I don't know how to explain it without giving stuff away that you don't
Yeah.
want me to
No.
give away.
Yeah.
I was
But
just curious if this is going to go on for another 10, 12 volumes. I
it
can't.
really is. It really is like
30.
because I think 42 is not out in this country, but I think it's basically done.
Okay.
If you like in terms of in the weekly in the monthly magazines,
Mm,
the chapters are out. So what I was reading was scanned from the chapters that were released in Japan. It wasn't from the. I think it goes past where the Dark Horse volumes end.
okay. Mm,
Um, so it's still going, but it's
okay.
around 42. So
Cool.
there's a lot. There's 15 more volumes that are done. It's definitely not finished, but it's definitely like you can see it's going somewhere,
Okay.
more or less.
Cool.
You'll see.
Yeah.
See.
Well, cool. So until next time, Joe, where can people find you?
jcmburn.com and at joeburn1 on Twitter, where I am still very active despite trying to get rid of it. Every time I put something on there, like it gets a lot. I get followers and people respond, and I go to Blue Sky and it's like silent. It's like an echo chamber. So
Mm,
I keep going back to Twitter, but for now,
That sweet, sweet dopamine hit.
Oh, I did a funny thing. I took a break. I don't look at any of my reviews. It's for 4 days. I haven't looked at my sales numbers, reviews, or ratings,
Mm.
and it feels like I feel way better.
Hmm.
I thought it was one of the stories where you're like, then I went back and I saw I had sold so many copies. I was waiting for that, but then you're like, no, and I just stopped. I haven't gone back yet. So,
It's bad, right? Because you get this little. If someone left a few comments on a video, or hit a few likes, or I had 20 views, and it's like this rush,
mm,
and you get and then you can get to a point where it's almost like an addict, right? Where you're
Mm-hmm.
like, oh,
mm,
I'll check every half hour. But the more often you check, the less likely it is you're going to get anything
yeah,
out of it, right? Because if you check every 2 minutes, you're not going to get a bunch of new reviews and sales and views in 10 minutes,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I end up in this spiral where I start being like, oh, check again, nothing, and I feel bad. Or worse, the worst for me as a writer, and this is terrible, I'll get a 4-star review and be like bummed
Mm.
Oh,
because it brings down my
yeah,
average, and I'm like, oh, it wasn't a 5-star read, just a 4-star read, and I'm like, this is not healthy. When you get a 4-star review for a book you wrote and it bums you out, that's like not a good place to be psychologically. Like just
mm,
so I'm like, I need a break.
yeah.
I need a self-imposed break. I'm not good. I'm not mentally healthy enough to do this.
That
So
makes sense.
anyone else, if you're a creator and you're getting bummed by the feedback, consider a vacation from the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
That's my word of wisdom.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And Varsha, where can people find you?
My YouTube channel, Reading by the Rainy Mountain. The About page has other ways to reach me, and there's a podcast in there somewhere called Bright Threads in the Tapestry, and I'm on the Patreon forum a lot.
Nice. Yeah, the that break from like for YouTube, like the analytics page. Oh, you can get lost in there. It
Oh
is
yeah,
not a good place to go if you want to feel like have a nice day and feel good about yourself. It's not a good place to go.
no,
But you probably want to do it once in a while to sort of see the direction that you're going in and what's working, what's not going. Like as a writer, I need to see some stuff. Are my ads working?
Mm-hmm.
If not, I
mm,
need to pull them. Otherwise, I'm losing money, right?
Right.
I can't just never look. But you can't look. Everyone's going to have their own threshold. I can't look every few hours. I don't even think I can do it once a day. I need to figure out what works for me. And for other people, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to just say, I'm just going to not look for a while. And it's hard. It's like it's almost like I'm jonesing for it.
mm,
But I haven't looked since like Wednesday, and I'm like, oh, I feel better. And it's like a
yeah,
cheap way to feel better. No calories.
Yeah.
it's true.
Nice.
Unlike all my other ways to feel better, which involve, hangovers and liver damage.
Yeah.
So
A whole bunch of what was that? And a whole bunch of time saved too.
yes, yes.
Mm.
That's
Yes.
it.
That too. Well, cool. So until next time, we'll talk to everyone soon.
Take
I
care,
can get
guys.
it out.